Hi, it's Friday, the 2nd of May, and we are looking at not just the astrology for this weekend, but the astrology for the rest of May. We've got a situation gathering in the sky around us, and it's pretty interesting. Let's say there will be opportunities for personal growth for some, putting it positively. The quality of the planets that is getting together is um, each one has a story. Each one is significant, and so therefore it should be quite interesting because this is all happening in the fire sign of Aries. This is an energy which is already known for its initiating, instigating, commanding, leading energy. And so this may be a show that no one will be able to miss. Okay, let's start the share so we can look at the chart that we've got for today, which is looks pretty much the same over the rest of the week and the rest of the month, actually. Just a second. Right, there we go. Right, so yes, the sun is in Taurus, that has moved on, but look at this lot here in Aries. So we've got 6 planets in Aries there. And I think we should note that Venus has just gone in there. Venus is now at 1 degree of Aries. And the fact that Venus has gone in is quite interesting. When Venus enters a sign, it changes the collective's opinion or what the collective finds attractive. So the energy that Venus is in becomes for the collective something that is desirable. It is not out of phase with the collective. The collective is in phase with Venus, and that's the zodiac sign, which is the flavor of the month, if you like. So the fact that Venus has gone in there means now that there is now an appetite for the Aries energy, whereas before now there wasn't. There was still stuff in Pisces that was sort of keeping our attention. Um, and the jump into Aries means that now everybody's willing to go up a gear or willing to accelerate, willing to step on the pedal a little. And so it becomes the atmosphere becomes a little more energetic, a little more feisty. Okay, now right at the moment, Venus is conjunct Neptune, and so it's not going to be that obvious that we're sort of like in an Aries bubble at the moment because with Venus conjunct Neptune, then Neptune's mighty waters, pacifying waters, cleansing, calming waters are going to be in there, kind of keeping the Aries a little subdued. However, within a day or two, Venus moves on past Neptune, and so therefore we will start to feel that feisty energy. Okay, so Neptune in Aries is new to us, and this means that the pining and the yearning and the longing, the symbol in the cosmos for redemption, a yearning for universal love is bathed in Aries fire. And the two symbols or the two energies don't really mix. So Pisces might feel a little energized at first because its ruler Neptune has moved into Aries, but that soon becomes tiresome. It soon becomes wearing because Neptune, and therefore Pisces, gets exhausted. Aries itself is not that happy with Neptune's water because it feels like a dead weight. It feels like it's holding it down. It feels like it's got the weight of an ocean hanging from its ankles, and so therefore Aries is not thrilled with this. There's way too much water, so feeling emotion for Aries, which is not usually Aries's bag. I'll move on through these planets, and so we can build up to an overall impression of how this is going to affect May. So this one is Salacia. It's a dwarf planet, a female divinity of the sea. But in this case, the sea could be seen as not a favorable condition. In fact, I think it was Pluto that said that the sea can encourage people who are uncouth and troubled. I don't know what he was referring to, but anyway, Salacia is a mysterious, deep, and can be a dangerous figure. She's certainly a tragic figure and one of the oldest primordial feminine deities. And really, just like the Christian Bible, if you look at the Old Testament, then you've got all the fearsome monsters in that one, and then it gets better when you get to the New Testament. The old ones are the really tyrannical, fearsome beasts, and in Salacia we do have a dwarf planet there which has issues and requires some careful handling, I think is the best thing to say. Mercury. Mercury's fine. Mercury is quite happy in Aries. It's happy to be in a rush. It's never, Mercury doesn't take much time or patience itself, so it's fine. But the next two, Chiron and Eris, they have got very close to each other now. They are going to go conjunct, exactly conjunct around the 25th of May. However, this position that they're in now, almost within 1 degree orb, is probably the strongest. It feels the strongest in terms of the energy that we can feel regarding these two together. Now, Chiron represents our struggle to cope with wounding and painful solutions. Sorry, I'm just going to do something here to get rid of this. Sorry. Back to Chiron. So it's Melanie Reinhardt said these are the wounds that make us wise. Chiron always represents an issue which makes us feel humble. It gives us humility, and it can feel very difficult, as if life is unfair, really unfair. This should not have happened. So Chiron in Aries takes the Aries energy, and it's that becomes unfair. So people with this in their birth chart, for instance, have a real issue because they don't feel strong enough. They don't feel battle worthy. They don't feel as if they can take people on and on a level playing field. So Chiron in Aries is making some of us feel as if we are to be humiliated. We can't win. And we feel as if like this is a totally unfair thing. You could look at actually Ukraine for this, and you could it's so utterly unfair of the Ukrainian people that they should be in this position. Okay, now Eris, troublesome, takes great glee in causing big trouble, was known in mythology to relish being on the battlefield, and is known to love the moaning of men, and if not handled correctly, will cause a tremendous amount of difficulty, problems, and challenge. So, okay. Saturn isn't in there yet, but it's heading there, and in the month of May, it will get in there. At that point, we've got a fairly difficult lineup of planets that will cause issues for most of the Aries sun signs, one way or another. Everybody has Aries in their chart somewhere, and so it's that particular part of your chart that is going to be under the microscope. Because it's in a cardinal sign, the Aries is a cardinal sign, all of the cardinal signs will be affected by this. So that's Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer. They will all be getting this in a 90-degree square or 180-degree opposition. So this is no picnic, I can tell you. However, I think we're ready for it. I think we've all felt for some time that something is coming, but we didn't know what. We felt as if we were treading water. We felt as if we're not getting on with something. It's like waiting for the tide to come in. I think now that this lot, and particularly Venus, has moved into Aries, that's the big one. Venus is now there. That turns the magnet of the collective desire to Aries, and it makes this volatile energy a lot more accessible, and people plug into it a lot more quickly. So it's going to be an interesting month, I feel. What can we do with all this Aries energy? There is an antidote, which I'm very happy to give you. It is actually to take on physical work, digging the garden, literally, or punching one of those bags in the gym, taking on sort of punishing games, say badminton or squash, tennis, this kind of thing. It's using your muscles to channel the energy into the ground, if you like, or out away from your body. You'll know if you're particularly under this because there is a signature headache, which actually comes with Aries. If the energy is not gotten rid of, if it's not expunged, if it doesn't leave the body, then it gives a headache. This is because Aries rules the head. Apparently, I don't. The only way I know about this is because my clients tell me they have a headache, and I look in the chart, and there it is. Yes, using physical exercise to get it out through the muscles. That's the best way of doing it. And I guess that's about it, really. I think I've covered most things for now. I hope that was useful. And I hope you're going to have a great weekend. We have a heat wave in the UK. Well, actually, I'm going to say the middle part of England. It's called the Midlands, funnily enough. So we have our heat wave here continues. If Scotland, not so lucky. Having said that, they had a good time in the earlier part of the year, so it's okay. So we really are enjoying. We had a record-breaking temperature for May, which broke all records since records began. So are we feeling the heat? Yes, we're feeling the heat. So, I mean, could this be our Aries experience? It's warmer. It's just fire energy has arrived. Anyway. Right. Thank you very much. It was lovely to talk to you, and I hope that was useful. And as the month goes on, I'd be really thrilled to read any comments you've got about how this is working out in your lives. And it's always fantastic to get comments. I love them, and I do reply to all of them. I do. So it'd be nice to hear from you. And don't forget, I'm here for readings. If it all gets too much, then book a reading with me and we'll sort through it, and you will be much happier and much more informed and much more, you have much more understanding afterwards. And that's really helpful. It's a way to get through life. Okay, thank you. And it's been great talking to you, and I'll see you next week. Okay, thanks. Bye.